forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I was with him, celebrate together, you know, and then they keep saying, Dad, I love you. I love you, Dad, because we celebrate happiness.
Hello, 911.
Hello. Yes, my boyfriend just got shot in the Walgreens.
Okay.
One of the things that's difficult to determine is who you're having an argument with, who you're having a dispute with. Nowadays, people pull out a gun rather than having a civil conversation. They pull out a gun and decide to do the unthinkable. This is one of those things where you've got to be careful even who you argue with these days.
Who shot your boyfriend?
I don't know, sir. It's some random guy in the Walgreens.
Hey, where's he at?
He ran off, sir.
The report says Souvenir argued with Taylor because he thought Taylor was staring at his girlfriend.
Okay, y'all, just imagine this. You leaving your home for a quick errand on your birthday, a day meant for celebration. You step into a store, never realizing that a slight delay or a moment's hesitation could be the difference between life and death. Imagine if a stop at a red light lasted just a few seconds longer, or if a phone call, a familiar birthday call from a loved one, the kind that many of us receive each year, had interrupted your plans, or if an item on the shelf had caught your attention for just a moment more. In a world where timing dictates our every move, fate often works in ways we cannot foresee. That reality played out in the most tragic way inside of a Walgreens in Miramar, Florida, where a routine stop turned into a final moment, an encounter that might have never happened if mere minutes had played out differently.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't one of them, you know what I'm saying? We get full respect in our city and shit. You ask about Fetti boy, we good, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of Haitians that get respect because of money, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't that, we really in the streets, you know what I'm saying? We really like putting in work, we're really moving around, we're really linking up with the killers, the trappers, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So, Fetti boy.
Real shit.
I felt it after 18 when I did my bid. When me and my brother right here caught that PBL charge, you know what I'm saying? We got locked up for armed robbery and ended up doing 31 months. We ended up beating the case, you know, and long story short, but man, they was offering us, what, 10 years, 10 in, 5 out. I didn't even know how to take it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We wanted to take 5 years, 4 years. They ain't even want to get it.
They ain't even want to get it. We never had a plea. They was just saying trial, but in the long run, you know what I'm saying, God blessed us, you know what I'm saying? It got dismissed, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get too deep in the case, you know what I'm saying? But in the long run, it got dismissed, so.
That just show, you know, just being patient in life, you know?
Yeah, being patient. We said.
You know what I'm saying? It's a purpose. Yeah, patience is the key.
Real spill.
Patience is the key.
But we overcame that and shit, we here now, Fetti boy, you know what I'm saying? He bad as hell, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the calm one, you know what I'm saying? He more like a hothead, you know what I'm saying? I feed off his energy, you know what I'm saying? He feed off my energy, you know what I'm saying? If I don't like you, you really dead, but I be having to calm his ass down, but that's a whole nother story, but.
Now at 11, a confrontation at a Walgreens turning deadly after a customer shoots a man inside the store.
The man who was killed was celebrating his birthday today.
The mark of a bullet on a front panel of glass tells only part of the violent story that played out inside of this Walgreens in Miramar. The store full of customers, even small children, at the time of the gunfire.
We're talking to all of them. We've also brought out our social workers to make sure that they're okay, because seeing something like this is obviously a harrowing situation for somebody who just merely went to the store.
Sky 10 was over the scene just before noon Monday as paramedics and police rushed to the store on Miramar Boulevard and Palm Avenue. A pair of men got into an argument here in the store, and investigators say 28-year-old Jaime Taylor pulled out a gun and opened fire, hitting the other man. The victim, 27-year-old Anthony Souvenir, was critically shot and rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors pronounced him dead.
It looks like a dispute between two people that involved nobody else. It was well isolated, but unfortunately it happened right inside the store while they were open for business.
The shooting was enough for the drugstore to shut down for the rest of the night, and after hours of interviewing the accused gunman, detectives filed manslaughter charges against Taylor for firing the fatal shots.
The family of 27-year-old Anthony Souvenir tells me that Monday was his birthday. They say they started off the day singing happy birthday and celebrating him, but then he had to go run an errand here at the Walgreens, but he never came home. This music video on YouTube shows 27-year-old Anthony Souvenir in happier times.
I had to learn to be a man before I came one.
Monday morning, on his birthday, he posted this video on social media, saying he was blessed to see another year. But just hours later, Souvenir's life would come to a sudden and tragic end after an argument at this Walgreens store turned violent.
Because a lot of people were in the store at the time, and obviously this is a harrowing situation for them.
According to police, 27-year-old Anthony Souvenir and 28-year-old Jamie Taylor got into an argument inside of the store on Miramar Boulevard shortly before noon. Investigators say Taylor pulled out a gun and opened fire. Souvenir died at Memorial Regional Hospital. We spoke to Souvenir's family off camera Monday night, and they told us it was his birthday. His dad said the day started off as a joyous one. The family sang happy birthday and celebrated his son. Then Souvenir went to Walgreens to get money, but never returned. Now, a day that was supposed to be filled with joy will be remembered as a tragedy.
Nowadays, people pull out a gun rather than having a civil conversation. They pull out a gun and decide to do the unthinkable. This is one of those things where you got to be careful even who you argue with these days.
Gun gonna kill. Gun is a weapon to kill people. Two young men, you have a problem, fight, or you call police.
Off the top at 5, a grieving father shares his heartbreak after his son is shot and killed inside a Walgreens. Good evening, I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. All of this happening after an alleged misunderstanding in front of the victim's girlfriend and their child. And now we're hearing her heart-wrenching calls for help. CBS News Miami's Peter Dan joins us live from Miramar, where this happened, with the latest. Peter?
Well, Elliot, we can tell you that the father of the man who was shot here inside the store is pleading for people to show restraint. That's why he is speaking out. Now, the victim was inside the store with his girlfriend, and we are now hearing her call to 911.
Hello, 911?
Hello? Yes, my boyfriend just got shot in the Walgreens.
Okay.
Emotional moments as the girlfriend of 27-year-old Anthony Souvenir tells 911 that he has been shot inside this Walgreens store just before noon Monday as a dispatcher responds.
Who shot your boyfriend?
I don't know, sir. It's some random guy in the Walgreens.
Hey, where's he at?
He ran off, sir.
Another 911 caller reveals panic inside the store.
I'm afraid that they're going to come back. Please hurry up.
A new police report says Souvenir was in the store with his girlfriend and their child when Souvenir got into an argument with a suspect, 28-year-old Jaime Taylor, who was on a cell phone. The report says Souvenir argued with Taylor because he thought Taylor was staring at his girlfriend. The report also said Taylor said Souvenir claimed he had a gun and he thought Souvenir was going to shoot him, so he opened fire.
I had to learn to be a man before I came one.
This is music video of Souvenir from YouTube in happier times. He was killed hours after celebrating his 27th birthday with his mother and father.
I was with him, celebrate together, you know, and then they keep saying, Dad, I love you. I love you, Dad, because we celebrate happiness.
Souvenir's father told me he is devastated.
People got too much gun. They can fight, but don't use a gun. Gun is a weapon to kill people. It's not to make people come down. Or you call police.
And Souvenir's father has this plea.
But we have to come together now. If we have a problem, to resolve the problem. Not a gun. Keep shoot each other. That don't make sense.
Now, the police report in this case said Souvenir's girlfriend said Souvenir pulled out his own gun to go after Taylor after he was shot, but he collapsed. We learned that Taylor plans to fight the charges against him. We reached out to Taylor's family, but we have not heard back. Coming up at 6, we'll show you what happened in court. We are live in Miramar. Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
On his birthday, on February 5th, 2024, in between 7 and 8 a.m., Anthony Souvenir would post an Instagram story saying that he was thankful for another year. But the way the universe played out, he was dead before noon. Now, if you ever seen the Final Destination movies, you know how fate works in those stories. Death has a plan, and no matter how much the characters try to escape, their end is inevitable. But what if the opposite was true? What if instead of an unavoidable fate, there were countless small ways that a tragedy could have been avoided? So that morning, Anthony walked into a Walgreens in Miramar, Florida, unaware that a series of small avoidable moments would set his final destination. He was there with his child and his girlfriend, a routine errand that should have been nothing more than a blip in an otherwise normal day. Across the store, a guy by the name of Jaime Taylor, a man he never had met, stood near the register loading money onto his Cash App account while talking on the phone. By all accounts, the two men had no history, no reason to cross paths until Anthony believed that he noticed Taylor looking in his direction. Now, maybe Taylor wasn't even looking at him. Maybe he dazed into the conversation a little too much, looking just a second too long at the wrong direction at the wrong time. Regardless of the situation, Anthony took it as disrespect, saying, "You looking too hard." Taylor, still on the phone and probably barely registering the accusation, responded, "I'm not even talking to you. I'm on the phone." And it was right at this moment that the universe split into 1,000 possible outcomes with alternate timelines where Anthony's Souvenir could have survived. In one version, Anthony probably ignores it and brushes it off as a misunderstanding and walks past Taylor to grab whatever he came into the Walgreens for. Or in a separate scenario, Jaime Taylor notices the hostility in Anthony's tone and decide himself to de-escalate the situation, apologizing, even though it probably wasn't his fault, with a simple "my bad." But reality didn't choose those paths, and instead, the situation got more tense when Anthony Souvenir would notice a strap on Jaime Taylor's hip. A lot of scenarios probably came into play. Him feeling like he had to play tough because he was with his girl, him feeling disrespected because he probably thought dude was looking at his girl, on top of it being his birthday, probably giving him a small sense of invincibility. But regardless of the reasons or what was said before this, his next remarks would be fateful. "I see you got one. I got one too." Another moment where everything could have changed. In a different timeline, Anthony just plays it off and never acknowledges the gun. He simply pays for his shit and he walk out the store, never triggering that instinct that made Taylor feel the need that he had to draw his weapon. Or maybe in another version of the story, Anthony would never reach into his backpack, never giving Taylor the split-second justification to pull the trigger. But in this reality, Taylor shot first, Anthony collapsed inside of the Walgreens, bleeding out before he could even explain himself, before he could have got back home with his family and celebrate the rest of his birthday. Jaime Taylor would immediately flee the scene, but guilt, fear, and I'm sure with all the cameras they have posted up at Walgreens, inevitability probably caught up with him, and he would turn himself in at the scene. He's currently facing second-degree murder charges, with his own life being drastically altered in that instant. Now, some might call this a tragic coincidence or even a random event in a chaotic world, but in another light, it's pretty much reverse Final Destination, a death that could have been dodged in 100 different ways. Jaime Taylor handling his business on Cash App before Anthony Souvenir walks into the store. Anthony Souvenir not even noticing Jaime Taylor. Maybe him being on the phone, distracted in conversation with his girl. It's just a million different ways. One step left instead of right. One choice to stay quiet instead of confront. One moment of calm instead of pride. Because Anthony Souvenir don't seem like he died because it was written in stone. He happened to die because the wrong sequence of events played out at the wrong time, because the universe didn't rearrange itself to give him a way out. And in the aftermath, a family grows up without their son, a child grows up without his father, and a birthday that was once a celebration of life becomes an anniversary of loss. And it didn't even have to happen like that. Now, y'all let me know, based on everything I read on this case, it sounds like Jaime Taylor, especially in a place like Florida with the stand your ground law, has a strong chance to possibly beat this case. But I want to see what my legal experts think. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation and how it played out. Y'all definitely make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real trail spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box below. Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed, what we got wrong, all of that. And make sure y'all tap in with me directly on Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until our next jug, y'all know how we rockin'. It's Shades Popalot. Salute the almighty MOBB.